221. The stone that breathes. Porous rock and hidden air. Some rocks hold breath, pockets of ancient atmosphere, buried, waiting. Even stone inhales in its own time. 222. The feather that balances flight. Asymmetry in motion. Wings are not identical. They flex, tilt, compensate. Balance isn't sameness, it's dynamic grace. 223. The fog that hides light, scattering at dawn. Fog doesn't block, it softens, diffuses brightness into glow. Clarity begins in blur. 224. The star that dies gently, white dwarf cooling. Not all stars explode, some fade slowly, cooling for billions of years, extinction as a whisper. 225. The plant that counts, Venus flytrap timing. It waits. Touch once, nothing. Touch twice, it snaps. Even hunger needs proof. 226. The river that rises from ice, glacial melt and memory. A glacier melts, a stream is born. From cold stillness, movement, the past flows forward. 227. The mole that sees with touch, somatosensory maps. Blindness doesn't mean absence, it means different senses. Their vision is pressure, and it's enough. 228. The magnet that points home, magnetic polarity. The earth sings in iron, compasses listen, guidance without words. Even minerals have direction. 229. The ocean that glows, noctiluca and bioluminescence. Waves crash in dark and spark, living light from microscopic joy. Not everything bright is seen by day. 230. The sound that sees, sonar and echolocation, whales, bats, machines. They shout into silence and hear shape in return. To see, sometimes you must listen. 176. The plant that eats. Carnivorous adaptation. Venus flytraps don't photosynthesize alone. They hunger. They snap. Even green things bite when needed. 177. The ice that cries, glacier creeks and climate songs. Glaciers move, slowly, then not at all, then suddenly. Their groans are stories, their cracks, prophecies. 178. The river that paints, sediment and earth tones. Rivers don't just flow, they carry color. Ochre from clay, silt from memory. Land tells its story in water. 179. The wolf that balances forests, keystone predators. Wolves return, and elk move, and trees rise. Balance begins with shadow. Control can look like chaos until it heals. 180. The cell that remembers touch, mechanotransduction. Cells feel pressure and respond. The skin is not just barrier, it is memory. What touches you changes you, even gently. 181. The wind that carves stone, Aeolian sculpture. Wind is soft, stone is hard, but time is patient. Softness, given time, becomes force. 182. The whale that sings in dialects, regional song evolution. Whales speak, and each ocean sings its own. Melodies migrate, culture below the waves. Even silence has accents. 183. The mountain that remembers rain, aquifers. Mountains hold water, not in rivers, in stone, underground reservoirs that wait, then release. What's stored deep can save later. 184. The creature that lives in boiling water, thermophiles. Some life begins in what should kill it, boiling vents, toxic minerals, yet they thrive. Survival doesn't mean safety, it means transformation. 185. The cloud that thinks, weather modeling and emergence. No one drop knows the storm, but together they form pattern. Emergence isn't planned, it is realized. 186. The feather that remembers flight, Archaeopteryx fossils. Stone holds wings. Fossils of in-between. 187. The star that is born in dust, stellar nurseries. Dark clouds hide light, nebulas, cradles. From chaos, a flare. Stars aren't born in brilliance, they rise from dust. 188. The bacteria that farm, ant symbiosis. Some ants plant fungus, feed it, harvest it, they farm. Even the smallest brains build empires. 189. The crystal that hears electricity, piezo sound. Quartz vibrates and hums, a speaker in stone. Electricity becomes voice. 190. The desert that builds sculptures, wind and dune waves. The desert moves, not just emptiness, design. Dunes form patterns, rhythm, stillness with choreography. 191. The eye that sees light twice, tapetum lucidum. Some creatures see in the dark because their eyes reflect light back again. A second chance at vision, reflection, not brightness. 192. The lichen that waits for rain, symbiosis and resilience. Lichen is not one thing. It's a partnership, fungus and algae surviving as one, waiting through drought, then blooming in color. 193. The canyon that sings, Aeolian echoes. Wind meets walls, and the earth replies. A canyon can hum. It is not silence that surrounds you, it is resonance. 194. The shell that remembers the tide, growth rings. Seashells tell stories, layer by layer, each season a ripple. Your changes leave rings too. Time is texture. 195. The fire that flows, lava and living rock. Lava isn't destruction, it's new earth, moving slow or fast. Creation doesn't always look kind. 196. The seed that crosses oceans. Coconut drift. Coconuts float, carried by waves across continents. They fall, wait, travel. You can cross oceans without paddling. 197. The fog that feeds. Coastal desert ecosystems. Some deserts drink fog. Condensation on cactus spines. Moisture in mist. Thirst doesn't always need rain. 198. The spider that builds with physics. Orb webs. Geometry spun in silk. A net that bends, flexes, holds, tension and placement. Design without sight. 199. The flame that has no heat, called plasma. It glows, it crackles, but it doesn't burn. Cold plasma heals skin. Not all fire is pain. 200. The river that reverses. Amazon tidal bores. Once a year, the tide pushes upstream, a wave against the flow. You don't always have to follow. Sometimes, the ocean meets the forest. 201. The ink that vanishes. Cephalopod escape. In danger, they disappear. Smoke in water. Evasion, not confrontation. Sometimes silence is survival. 202. The rain that paints. Petrichor and earth's scent. The smell of first rain. Oil released from dry stone. Geosmin. Petrichor. Memory in molecules. 203. The star that flickers with life. Exoplanet shadows. Distant stars blink, not from dimming, but from planets passing. Life hides in interruption. 204. The magnet that floats. Diamagnetic levitation. Graphite floats above magnets, not by force, but rejection. Opposition becomes lift. 205. The snowflake that remembers air. Crystallization in chaos. Every snowflake carries the moment of its birth. Pressure, humidity, motion, shape is memory. No two alike, because no two paths are. 206. The machine that forgets. Entropy in systems. All order fades, not from error, but from time. Entropy is the price of structure. Even machines forget. 207. The fish that glows. Bioluminescence. Deep sea silence. And suddenly, light from within. Glow without sun. Joy doesn't need audience. 208. The molecule that mirrors. Chirality in chemistry. Some molecules are identical, yet reversed. Like hands, shape changes everything, even when it looks the same. 209. The ant that builds air. Ventilation architecture. Anthills breathe. With tunnels designed to exchange air, instinct becomes engineering. Complexity without blueprint. 210. The light that carries information. Fiber optics. Glass threads, and light moving through them. Messages without metal. The future flows invisibly. 210. The plant that hears. Acoustic sensitivity. Some roots respond to sound. They grow toward vibration, not sight, not heat, but tone. Even growth listens. 212. The tree that talks in scent. chemical signaling. Trees warn each other, release scents when under attack. The air becomes message, community in silence. 213. The mirror that melts light, black mirrors and absorption. Some mirrors don't reflect, they absorb. Nothing bounces back. Truth isn't always visible. Sometimes it's consumed. 214. The star that pulses like a heart. Variable stars. Brightness breathes. Stars dim, then swell. Rhythms in burning, time measured in glow. 215. The wind that draws lines. Aeolian etchings. Sand carried by wind draws on stone, carves stories over centuries. Air becomes chisel. Softness writes permanence. 216. The cloud that calculate, distributed weather data. Satellites, sensors, each gathering air. Together they guess tomorrow. Prediction by community. 217. The drop that bounces, superhydrophobic surfaces. Water that won't stick. It dances. Lotus leaves, nanotech. Resistance becomes grace. 218. The cave that grows, speleothem formations. Drops fall, minerals stay. Stalactites grow downward. Patience in stone. 219. The fog that hunts light, scattering and diffusion. Fog breaks beams, softens clarity. Light doesn't disappear, it's spread thin. 220. The ice that traps time, frozen fossils. Woolly mammoths, frozen breath, time sealed in crystal. Preservation is not pause, it's waiting. The ice that cracks with thunder, cryoseisms. Frozen ground can quake. When warmth returns, the earth shouts. Even thawing can be violent. 233. The cell that commits suicide, apoptosis. Some cells choose death, so others may grow. Sacrifice isn't always loss, it's design. 234. The tree that survives fire, bark and renewal. Flames pass, but the trunk endures, charcoal skin, green shoots. 235. The planet that has seasons, axial tilt. Not distance but angle, that's what makes winter. Lean differently, and the light returns. 236. The star that spins, pulsars. Collapsed, compressed, still pulsing, even in death, rhythm. 237. The liquid that never freezes, supercooled water. Below zero, still liquid, still waiting until the slightest touch. 238. The root that finds cracks, soil navigation. Dark, dense, unforgiving, but still it grows, curves, senses, pushes. Persistence doesn't rush. 239. The sand that remembers wind, ripple patterns. Each gust leaves marks, lines drawn, erased, redrawn, memory in dunes. 240. The shell that echoes the sea, resonance in curves. Not ocean inside, but your own blood bouncing back. The shape listens and replies. 241. The cloud that forms from breath, condensation. Exhale and watch vapor bloom. Even warmth leaves a trace. 242. The fire that creates soil, volcanic fertility. Ash falls, and years later, Crops rise. Destruction feeds roots. 243. The rock that folds. Tectonic compression. Stone bends, given enough time, given enough pressure. Even rigidity isn't absolute. 244. The lightning that splits sand. Fulgurite. A bolt strikes, and glass is born. Shape carved in instant heat. A moment frozen. 245. The tree that waits decades. Bamboo bloom. Some bamboo waits 60 years, then flowers all at once. Timing is encoded. So is patience. 246. The spider that flies. Ballooning behavior. Tiny legs lift. Silk catches wind. No wings, but flight. 247. The color that shifts without pigment. Structural color. Butterfly wings. Peacock feathers. No dye, just structure. Form becomes hue. 248. The snow that burns. Dry ice sublimation. No liquid phase. Just solid to gas, like breath escaping stone. 249. The organism that copies perfectly. Clonal reproduction. Aspen groves. One tree. 1,000 trunks. Identity multiplied. 250. The cave that breathes. Airflow from pressure shifts. Enter and feel a breeze. Earth's lungs, exhaling. The mushroom that glows, Mycena chlorophyll. In the damp hush of subtropical forests, some mushrooms do not wait for the sun. They bloom into the night with a soft green luminescence, like memories you never had. It's not fire, not reflection, it's light born inside decay. Bioluminescence, a warning to predators, a call to insects, a side effect of survival that becomes something like art. We think decay is the end, but these fungi glow brightest in decomposition. 252. The animal that pauses time. Tardigrade cryptobiosis. When the world becomes unlivable, no water, no heat, no hope, the tardigrade does not flee. It folds. It withdraws every part of itself into stillness. Its heartbeat disappears. Its breath vanishes, and time stops noticing it. For decades it waits, then warmth, then water, then motion. It was not dead, only hidden in pause, a life between seconds. 253. The stone that sings. Lithophones. Not all music is made with strings or brass. In the highlands of Vietnam and the plains of Africa, there are stones, flat, ancient, that sing when struck. Not in metaphor, in resonant, clear tones. They ring like bells, echo like memory. Stone is supposed to be silence, but in the right hands, even the earth sings back. Above the weather we see, the clouds, the rain, is another current. Fast, invisible, global. Jet streams whip around the earth, steering storms, carrying seeds, deciding winters. We cannot see them, but they move everything. Like thoughts we forgot but still obey. 255. The bacterium that fixes air, the nitrogen cycle. You breathe nitrogen every moment, but your body cannot use it. For that, you need bacteria. Tiny lives beneath the soil. They pull nitrogen from the air and feed it to roots, and roots feed it to you. We owe the green of the world to the unseen beneath it.
256. The cloud that reflects sunlight. Stratocumulus shields. Some clouds don't rain, they just hover, thick, layered. And while they drift, they reflect sunlight back into space, cooling the earth, softening the heat. A mirror sky, made not to dazzle, but to defend. 257. The fish that swims uphill, salmon memory. They are born in mountain streams. They drift to oceans, live vast lives, then return hundreds of miles, up waterfalls, against all current. They return to the exact place they were born. How do they remember? Scent, magnetic fields, an ancient map encoded in their cells. Some journeys begin before memory. 258. The fire that cleanses, ecological renewal. Wildfires destroy, but some forests need them. Their seeds are sealed with resin, unbreakable until fire melts them open. Ash makes fertile soil. Light enters the underbrush. It is violent, but not mindless. There are flames that take life, and flames that give it. 259. The bird that flies forever. Alpine swift. For 6 months, the alpine swift stays in the air. It eats while flying, sleeps while flying, dreams perhaps. It does not land. Its wings beat with a rhythm longer than seasons. To live without touching the earth is to trust the sky completely. 260. The metal that remembers. Nitinol and shape memory. Bend it, twist it, heat it, and it snaps back into form. Nitinol is not just a metal. It is memory made solid. It doesn't resist change. It absorbs it, then remembers itself. Not stubbornness, resilience. 126. The snow that sings. Avalanche warnings in vibration. Snow listens. Each flake holds tension, and when the mountain hums wrong, it answers. Collapse isn't sudden, it's cumulative. Pay attention to your own creaks. 127. The particle that borrows. Quantum tunneling and possibility. Some particles break rules. They pass through walls. Not because they push, because they borrow time. Reality makes exceptions. Maybe your leap doesn't need permission. 128. The star that eats. Black holes and event horizons. Some stars collapse so completely they devour light. But even they release radiation. Hawking taught us that nothing is absolute, not even endings. Even voids whisper. 129. The earth that rings. Seismic echoes and planetary song. After an earthquake, the earth rings like a bell. Its tone rolls beneath our feet for hours. You don't need ears to hear truth. You just need stillness. 131. The comet that comes back. Orbits and memory. Some paths don't lead away. They circle, disappear, only to return. Comets trace memory across centuries. What left you might not be gone. It might be on its way back. 132. The silence in stone, petrification, and time's patience. A tree becomes stone, not quickly, not violently, just faithfully. Mineral replaces cell. Time speaks in texture. You don't have to rush to last. 133. The cell that waits. Bacterial endospores. Some bacteria pause. They dry, shrink, sleep. Then, decades later, awaken. Endospores. Tiny prophets of survival. You are allowed to go dormant. That doesn't mean you're done. 134. The heat that rises. Convection in everything. Warmth moves. It rises through soup, through sky, through skin. Convection is the lift of energy. You are not stuck. You are heating. Give it time. You will rise. 135. The ocean's pulse, thermohaline circulation. The sea has a heartbeat. Cold sinks. Salt moves. Currents flow like veins. The planet breathes through water. So do you. Your stillness is part of something larger. 136. The plant that counts steps, Thigmonasty in motion. Some plants move only after enough touches. They count contact. They remember patterns. Like you don't react to everything, only what builds, only what matters. 137. The color that changes, chameleons and skin signals. Chameleons shift not for hiding, but for expression, mood, temperature, intention. They speak in color. You do too, not with pigment, with presence. 138. The rock that floats, pumice and lightness in fire. It came from flame, but it floats. Pumice, solid stone filled with air. Not all that's heavy must sink. Not all pain weighs forever. 139. The brain that rewires, neuroplasticity and becoming. Your mind is not fixed. Neurons shift, pathways reshape, thought carves trail. Learning is not filling, it's growing. You are not finished, you are rewiring. 140. The wind that remembers, Aeolian landscapes. Wind leaves marks, carves stone, shapes dune, memory in motion. The gentlest force over time is the strongest. So be patient. Even breath can move mountains. 141. The seed that rests in fire. Pyrophytic survival. Some seeds won't open unless touched by flame. They wait for heat, for destruction. Then they bloom. What scorches you might also free you. Not all fire burns down. Some clears the way. 142. The mountain that grows. Plate tectonics and patient uplift. Mountains rise, not in leaps, in inches, pushed upward by collisions below. You are not static. Even your stillness is climbing. 143. The shell that spirals. Fibonacci in nature. Spirals appear again and again in shells, galaxies, flowers, not by choice, by rhythm. The pattern of growth written in math. What's unfolding in you might not be chaos, it might be symmetry. 144. The ice that speaks, ice cores and climate memory. We drill into ancient ice and it breathes old air. Each bubble, a season. Each layer, a history. The past is not lost, it's buried and whispering. 145. The leaf that drinks light. Photosynthesis as alchemy. A leaf does what gold cannot, turns light into life, breathes in what we exhale, feeds what we become. It's not just chemistry, it's green magic.
146. The shadow beneath wings. Bernoulli and lift. Birds fly not by pushing down, but by pulling up. Air moves faster above than below. Pressure drops. Wings rise. You don't always need force. Sometimes you need shape. 147. The flower that tracks the sun. Heliotropism. Some blooms follow the sun. They turn slowly, not for warmth, for knowing. Light is their compass. Maybe joy is yours. 148. The molecule that folds. Protein structure and function. Form defines purpose. A protein is just a string until it folds. Then it becomes something. So do you. Shape changes everything. 149. The lightning without rain. Dry storms and silent fire. Lightning cracks. No thunder, no rain, only spark. Dry storms ignite forests. Truth doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it strikes. 150. The dust that settles. Atmospheric particles and time. Dust floats through sunbeams. Then it lands, layer by layer, becoming history. Be patient. Even the unsettled eventually rests. Even you.